to leave like some of the other lights on, like your Christmas lights. I don't judge. I keep my Christmas lights up all throughout the year too. Yeah, okay, one sec. Okay, how's that? It definitely like makes it a lot more mellow, right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Good. Is there anything else that I can do to help? Like, literally anything? I know that you've had a rough couple of days. Oh, really? That's the worst. Yeah. Well, at least that's one good thing, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. You know what, actually, I might have just thought of something. Okay, so this kind of sounds a little crazy, but I went to Dollar Tree, it was a while ago, it was like a month ago or something, and while I was shopping, I actually found, like a children's book, but it was like all stories that like we all grew up on, so it's almost like nostalgia, you know what I mean? Do you want me to go get that? I know exactly where it is. I mean, it might be fun, and I always, love to fall asleep to people reading. I would not care if you fell asleep while I was just reading it to you. Kind of like keep it quieter, yeah? Dude, we could totally do that. That's totally fine. I know that you have a big day and a big week in front of you and you need your sleep. Yes. I know. Yeah, sleep is very important. Okay, let me go get it real quick. I think it's just like on my shelves. I'll be right back. Okay, I got it. Sorry, that was my knees popping. I'm gonna try to get like comfortable so that like, you know what I mean? Okay, one second. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay, so you wanna look at it? Here. Yeah, isn't that fun? Yeah, so it's basically like a bunch of stories that we grew up on. I thought that would be fun. But they're like longer than what I thought. Yeah. Yeah. And like, aren't those little drawings so cute too? Like, seriously. Did you look and see what stories they are? No? Okay. So there's Alice in Wonderland, Peter Pan, and the Wizard of Oz. See? Which one do you think that we should read? Or that I should read to you? You don't really care? Okay, let's just start with number one. Let's just start with Wizard of Oz. My brain. Maybe I'm the one that needs to get some sleep too. Don't worry about me. I'm practically already ready for bed, but I'll go to sleep after you're ready. Alice in Wonderland, let's do that one. Yeah, let's see the cute little like. I can always find so many good things at Dollar Tree, I feel like. Are you ready? Just kind of feel free to like close your eyes while I read. Like that's totally fine. That's totally fine. Okay. Let's see. Alice was sitting by her sister on When she finally landed, she found herself in a hallway of doors. She tried to open them, but they were all locked. Then she found a glass stand with a tiny key on top, but the key was too small for the locks. So Alice walked the hall again and spotted a low curtain. She pulled it back to reveal a tiny door. She tried the key. It fit. Alice opened the door to find a small garden inside. She longed to explore the garden, but she was too big to fit through the tiny door. She checked the glass stand again, and this time she found a tiny bottle with a note that said, "Drink me." She drank from the bottle and then shrank until she was just 1 foot tall. Then she realized she had left the key on the stand, but she was now too small to reach it. Alice then saw a plate with a slice of cake and a note that said, "Eat me." She ate the cake, and before long she was 9 feet tall. She could reach the door now, but once again she was too big to fit through the tiny door. Frustrated, Alice sat down and wept. When she was done crying, Alice stood up. She looked down and saw that she was standing in a large pool of her own tears. Me, right? Let's not talk about that. Okay. Let's see. Then she saw the white rabbit run by, dropping his fan and white gloves. She ran to pick them up and chased after the white rabbit. A few moments later, she found herself up to her chin in water and realized that holding the fan and gloves made her small again. She dropped them so that she would stop shrinking, and she swam until she reached the shore. After getting out of the water, Alice turned to spot the white rabbit. Seeing Alice, he mistook her for his housemaid and told her to go back to his house and fetch a pair of gloves and a fan. Alice felt bad about misplacing the first fan and gloves, so she agreed to do this. Alice walked a short distance before finding a small house with the words "W. Rabbit" on the door. She went inside and found a pair of gloves and a fan next to an unmarked bottle. Alice was tired of being small and wanted to see if drinking whatever was in the bottle might help her grow large again. She took a sip, and soon she grew so large that she could no longer fit through the door. This girl needs some help. She then found a cake and took a bite. Before long, she shrank again and was able to escape. You want to see some of the pictures? It's just like cute little sketches of everything. Alice needed to eat something that would help her return to normal size. Looking around in the woods, she spotted a large mushroom with a caterpillar sitting on top. The caterpillar could see that Alice was sad. "What's wrong?" he asked. "I'm tired of being so small," Alice replied. The caterpillar told Alice that eating from the right side of the mushroom would make her smaller, and eating from the left side would make her taller. Taking his advice, Alice took a bite in her hands from both sides of the mushroom. She ate a little from each hand until she reached her normal size again. Continuing further into the woods, Alice discovered another small house. She ate a little more of the right hand bit of the mushroom and shrank herself down to the proper size. squirmed its way out of Alice's arms, jumped to the ground, and trotted off into the woods. Confused by the many strange things she had seen that day, Alice wandered back into the woods. Along the path, she saw a Cheshire cat. I should probably know what that is. I'm so sorry. Just relax and don't worry about it. Oh, in one of the branches overhead, he grinned down at her and asked where she was going. Anywhere but where crazy folks are, Alice said. Oh, I'm afraid you can't help that, said the Cheshire cat. Here everyone is crazy, even the Mad Hatter and Margera, who live nearby. Say, do you plan to visit the Queen of Hearts today? I'd like to, Alice said, but I haven't been invited. Is it helping to relax you a little bit? I'm not sure how long this book is, yeah. Listen, seriously, if you fall asleep while I'm reading, that's totally fine. Okay? Okay. Well, if you are invited, the Cheshire cat said, then you'll see me there. And with that, he vanished into thin air. Oh, here's the picture, by the way. Alice continued through the woods until she came to a new house. This house looked very strange, as if it had a furry roof and chimneys shaped like ears. As she got closer, Alice saw that there was a long table set out in the house's front lawn. The Mad Hatter and Margera were seated. Margera were seated and having a tea party. Sorry, before you go to sleep, I did just want to mention, I'm sorry that I'm not a very good reader. It's a thought that counts, right? Okay. Alice began to sit down when they both cried, "There is no room." Of course there is, Alice said, taking a seat. First you have to solve a riddle, the Mad Hatter said. Why is a raven like a writing desk? I don't know, Alice said. Oh, said the Marcher. Well, neither do we. Alice frowned. This is how you spend your time, wasting it, by asking riddles with no answers. The Marcher asked. Time is a he. You've never met Time, have you? The Mad Hatter said. It's too bad. Time and I don't get along anymore. I've got him into trouble with the Queen of Hearts, and since then he won't be doing anything I asked. So now it's always 6 o'clock. That's kind of weird. I wonder why 6. Alice sighed. There seemed to be crazy people everywhere she went. The Mad Hatter and Margera didn't even notice when she got up and walked back into the woods. As Alice strode along, she noticed a tree with a full-size door in it. Her curiosity overtook her. She opened it and went in. She realized she was back in the long hallway with the glass stand. She took the key from the stand, lifted the low curtain again, and unlocked the tiny door. She still had a bit of mushroom that would make her shrink, so she ate some until she was the right size. She stepped through the door and was in the tiny garden at last. Alice came upon the 3 gardeners in the shape of playing cards. They were standing around the rose bush. Its blooms were white, but the gardeners were painting them red as fast as they could. Why are you painting those roses? bush of red roses, 5 spades said, but 2 of diamonds planted a white one by mistake, and if the queen finds out, she'll shovel us. Here comes the queen, 8 of clubs whispered. Here comes the queen, here comes the queen, here comes the queen. Soon enough, the queen and king of hearts approached them. The queen saw the white roses and realized the gardener's mistake. Arrest them, she shouted, and her soldiers also, in the shape of playing cards, took them away. The queen turned to Alice. Come, the trial's about to begin. Confused but not wanting to anger the queen, Alice obeyed. Soon they were in the royal court, where the crowd had already gathered. The king and queen took their places on their thrones, and the white rabbit came forward to read the charges. The knave of hearts is charged with stealing the queen. The queen starts. The white rabbit said. The prosecution calls as its first witness Alice. Alice nervously came forward, but I don't know anything about the darts, she said. Write that down, the king told the members of the jury. And then he looked in his notebook and read out loud, Rule 42, anyone who's more than a mile tall must leave. The king pointed to Alice. This means you, girl. But I'm not a mile tall, Alice said. Yes, you are, the queen said. Alice looked down and suddenly she realized she was now a giant. I think you just made up that rule so I won't go, she said. I have new evidence, the white rabbit said. That seems to be a note that the knave of hearts wrote to someone. He held it up for all to see. I didn't write that, the knave of hearts cried. It doesn't have my signature. Well, you must be guilty of something then, the king declared, or you would have signed it. That proves he's guilty, the queen cried. Alice sighed. The Cheshire cat was right. Everyone in this land was crazy indeed. Sounds like us, right? Yeah, I know. She'd had more than she could take. Enough, she cried. Hold your tongue, the queen ordered. Alice folded her arms. I won't. Arrest her, the queen shouted. Her cheeks red with fury, a stack of card soldiers marched toward Alice, who realized they were merely playing cards with heads. With heads, hands, and feet. You don't scare me, she laughed. But before Alice knew it, they leaped into the air and threw themselves at her. She screamed, Alice, wake up.